now on the WHAS11 night team.
The grief hit me hard at some point, and I just really felt like, life just wasn't good anymore.
Real stories of living through violence by some of the city's young voices. We are hearing from them tonight as Louisville tries to get a handle on crime. Plus,
so that's when I woke Nate up and I was like, you need to call 911 because we aren't going to make it to the hospital.
Real life heroes honored as they brought a family joy in an urgent situation. That family now forever grateful for their help. And are you headed to the Louder Than Life Music Festival this weekend? We've got an update on traffic and some helpful tips if you're planning to be out at the fairgrounds. The night team starts now. With a busy weekend ahead, it is a question many families worry about: more gun violence. Just last weekend, violence in Louisville claimed the lives of 3 people in separate incidents, all of them within 24 hours. And that violence has touched many across the city. Thanks for joining us on the night team. I'm Connie Leonard. Doug has the night off. Tonight, we are hearing from the young people affected. They use their voices and art to show how they've worked through the pain with a vision for change. The night team's Clarice Shaley has their story on display at the Speed Art Museum.
If every piece at the Speed Art Museum could speak.
This art is a flower with 2 petals off of it.
The ones on exhibit Friday would talk about pain.
It represents my 2 brothers that I lost, one to overdose and one to gun violence.
Over the span of 3 years, the young Bassan Ishmael lost her 2 brothers. She used a flower to resemble the ones her brother used to help water, to show that loss.
The grief hit me hard at some point, and I just really felt like, life just wasn't good anymore because I don't have an older representation.
The photographs show how different teens' lives have been affected by gun violence and grief. Artists with the Louisville Office of Violence Prevention use their voice, bringing attention to the impact of violence in the city and its ripple effect of trauma.
So we're taking youth voices into consideration because the youth are becoming more and more victims of violence, so they should be able to speak on how they feel. And I think if once you get it out, that's a part of healing.
While numbers from LMPD show homicides and non-fatal shootings are down, cases of youth violence continue to happen. The OVP director told us earlier in the month that the number of kids committing crimes aren't lowering as fast as other demographics.
That's what you're doing here tonight. You're showing the world that healing is possible.
Louisville advocates and teens speak a message of change.
It should impact Louisville just to give it a dialogue of thinking.
Every hardship comes with ease.
And just contemplate how things could be if we listen to youth voices.
A message to work to curb the violence. In Louisville, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 night team on your side.
And if you missed the artwork from tonight, it will soon be going up at the new Baxter Community Center in the Russell neighborhood. The Nelson County Sheriff is no longer facing felony charges in a case that cast a shadow on his department earlier this year. Prosecutors just dismissed the case against Sheriff Raymond Pineroa, who was originally charged with abuse of public trust, theft by deception, and official misconduct. The allegations centered around complaints from 2 detectives back in the spring, who said Chief Deputy Brandon Bryan sold cars from the office's impound warehouse to a friend, and that Pineroa didn't hold him responsible. Now, Chief Deputy Bryan did plead guilty on 2 misdemeanor unrelated to theft, admitting to administrative paperwork errors. He will pay fines now as a result. And attorney Steve Romines responded shortly after saying, quote, "I've said from the beginning that Sheriff Pineroa did nothing wrong and that we would prove that at the end of trial." And Deputy Bryan's attorney stated, "To those that callously called Brandon a thief, this should serve as another reminder that you shouldn't cast stones before you know the facts," and added that Bryan plans to continue serving until his retirement. Brooks Houck and Joseph Lawson received maximum prison sentences on Wednesday, bringing some closure in the 10-year case of Crystal Rogers. Rogers' parents, Sherry Ballard and Tommy Ballard, searched late nights and early mornings alongside members of Team Crystal. It is a story that WHAS 11 News has covered for a decade. We spoke with Angie Bowman, who was with the family from the beginning.
Looking back now, it's like, what did we miss? Then you kind of feel like you failed them, but I know Tommy would say we didn't.
For Kentucky law, that's not allowed either.
Well, moments before delivering his sentence, Judge Charles Sims approved Joseph Lawson's motion to move forward in the appeals process without paying the associated fees due to his financial situation. Robert Boyd, Lawson's attorney, spoke to WHAS11 in a one-on-one interview after sentencing. He said Lawson was fully expecting the sentence he received in court. And Boyd said he plans to file an immediate appeal to the Kentucky Supreme Court, adding that process could take longer than a year. A Kentucky lawmaker wants more frequent checks on the safety of your roads. That proposal would put the responsibility on the state transportation cabinet. Many state roads in Nelson County show worn out yellow paint that isn't visible anymore, making it extremely dangerous at nighttime. Nelson County Emergency Management Director Brad Metcalf is in full support of a new proposal by State Representative Candy Massaroni to require more regular quality checks of state roads across Kentucky.
If we can't see the roads ourselves, we have to slow down to make sure that we're not the next accident. We're trying to get to that scene, not become the next victim.
And the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says it's continuing to work with the bill sponsors to provide, quote, relevant and accurate information to inform their legislative proposals. Massaroni plans to file the bill in next year's legislative session. Well, a beautiful view of the skyline at sunset tonight. This is a look at the Kentucky Fairgrounds parking lot over to your left. And this afternoon, after 4 o'clock, LMPD shared that parking at the Kentucky Fairgrounds had fully reached its maximum capacity for cars. People could still enter and walk into the Louder Than Life Festival, of course, but the main gates were closed to cars, allowing only shuttles in. And it's going to be a busy day in Louisville tomorrow, from the Cards playing at L&N Stadium, racing at Churchill Downs, and another day of Louder Than Life at the fairgrounds. The trifecta of events can only mean one thing: a heavy traffic day. LMPD anticipates more than 150,000 people to be traveling into central Louisville all at the same time Saturday. LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey confirmed this week more police will lend a hand with traffic, and he asked for a lot of patience from drivers. That'll help everyone get where they need to go. The quick action taken by a fire crew is recognized tonight. A look at the special moment between the crew and the family they helped. That's next. And tomorrow afternoon, be sure to tune in to WHS11 Plus after the Louisville football game against Bowling Green to hear from head coach Jeff Brom and the players. Download the app for free and watch on your TV.
And it was a cool start, but another hot afternoon with highs climbing about 10 degrees above normal. We are looking at a similar weather pattern on Saturday before rain chances ramp up Sunday into next week. We'll take a full look at that 7-day forecast coming up after the break.